Okay, we might be live on YouTube now. Sending data. Sorry for these technical difficulties. All right, there we go. Now I think we're live on YouTube. YouTube, what's up, YouTube? How are we doing, everybody? Let me double check that too again. Okay, there we go. All right, now we are, and I dropped my phone. Now we are live everywhere. Good morning, everybody. Let's jump right into it. Some of the big news stories that we are watching for the morning. Let's pull up the comment on my profile and zoom in a little. We might also talk about some of the news stories from last night, and we can go through a couple of the other Twitter people on here. There's a couple good news sources. One story that I was posting: Meta Platforms will stop selling political and issue-focused advertising in the European Union, setting new regulations that the company believes creates an untenable level of complexity and legal uncertainty. That was one of the headlines we got this morning. This headline out of Business Insider saying that Tesla is reportedly planning to launch its robotaxi service in San Francisco this weekend. The article did say they're going to have the safety driver in there. You know, it's just going to be the start of the beta test, but kind of signaling that something is starting there. Business Insider, not the best news organization out there, but they tend to have an anti-Elon and anti-Tesla bias. So I wouldn't think that they were coming in here and putting an overtly good story in their way. Amazon has abandoned its plans to build an industrial facility in Dublin, Ireland, after it could not secure power supply for the $300 million project. Truthfully, what I thought was interesting here was this power supply comment. We've been talking a lot about this around, people are excited about nuclear, but also all these data centers we're building. You need a lot of power to come in and do it. And this is one of the things that I was definitely watching. And I think this will end up being a theme of wherever the power is, wherever the cheap power is, wherever we can get that is where a lot of these tech and innovation will end up kind of being centered around. Good morning, CJ. I appreciate you being here. And the first person to comment anything below. Like I said, throw your thoughts in the chat. My favorite thing, the difference between Spaces and live streams, is we have a live chat here. So I want to talk with you guys. Come in and say hello. And by the way, we're also live on YouTube too. If you're watching this on X, if you prefer to watch on YouTube, just search for my name, Stock Market News, on there. Same username, and you will find me live right now. We got a couple people hanging in there with me. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to this. Google reported earnings a couple of days ago. They're the only company to report more than $100 billion of net income in 2024, and they're on pace to do it again in 2025. I haven't double-checked if another company has come in and kind of matched them on that pace, but over $100 billion in net income, it doesn't really look like a dying company to me. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang was speaking at the All In Summit or podcast or whatever they wanted to do, and he had some good comments. Let's maybe... I actually don't know if you can hear that. It's coming through my headphones. But Jensen Huang comments basically, I've kind of been lived by this a little bit, that the most successful people, billionaires are the people who create the most millionaires. What is the person who creates the most billionaires end up becoming? We'll see. But that was a lot of those headlines from the morning. Now, let's look over at some of the stocks that are moving in the morning. Get this over to the 5-minute chart. I was also playing around with AI to put all these on here. So let me get rid of some of these. Let's just delete that widget. Let's add a widget back. Let's add chart. All right, let's look through the Mag 7 quickly and what some of these ones are doing. Up 0.33% in pre-market for Apple, Amazon. Up 0.2, 0.3. Google, like we were just looking at there. Up 0.2. Meta. Microsoft. NVIDIA. Okay. So NVIDIA is the only one that's red so far in the pre-market. Tesla up about 0.8% there. Let's see, what does CJ say? So 100 shares of Tesla yesterday and grabbed 300 shares of BMNR. The earnings for Tesla was not good at all. Interesting. Where's BMNR at? I own some BMNR. My cost basis is right around 48. No, let me check what this is on my phone. BMNR cost basis for me, we are below it. I know that for sure. $45.50 is where my BMNR cost basis. Ooh. That is where I actually meant to put it. Okay. I think you can also like name these too. Settings. Whatever. That's my cost basis on BMNR though. Yeah. So that was a lot of the movements going on around there and some of the Mag 7. Let's look at some of the other popular names. We had Intel report earnings yesterday. You guys want to see something? I actually did buy an Intel call yesterday. I had it here. I bought this yesterday, which is going to be down to zero. So the $75 call expiring today, bought for 75 cents. Sorry, 20. Where is it? Where's the strike? It was a $23 strike, but I don't know why it doesn't say the strike price on here. Interesting. $23 strike, spent $75 on that. I would have needed it open up at $23.75, and we are opening up at $20.69. There we go. Donated, as the caption says. I just donated $75 to the market. It is what it is. VRT. Vertiv, I believe, right? I believe this is also, if I'm not wrong, does Warren Buffett own VRT stock? Oh, it's Vertex Pharma. Why did I wait? Warren Buffett, though, Berkshire Hathaway does not own VRT. What just happened there? Why did it bring up Vertex here? But I guess it went down here. I thought he did. Interesting. Yeah, this was a data center play. Red was a solid one. My guess is it's been running pretty aggressively, though, this year so far. Range 1 year. Oh, no. Crazy move off this bottom here. What is that? I still need to use it. I use this a little bit. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Candles. Use this. Lines. Info line. There to there. Yeah, that's 140% move off the bottom. Goddamn. Yeah. Listen. What are some of the names you guys are looking at? This is one that I'm in. It's not super small cap, but RKT. It's kind of playing off of that same open door theme. They help with mortgages. There's some other stuff around that Rocky Companies does, but give or take, mortgage company, they need interest rates to go down. My cost basis on RKT 5. Let's get a line going here. Horizontal line. That's my cost basis there on RKT. That's what I'm in. Let's see what other small ones. I also, if you guys watch Stocks on Spaces, GE, and I'm in. Shout out Stock Talk. GE and I cost basis for me is mine is 1036. It's right around here. Genius Sports is a data provider for like sports leagues. Basically, if you want to bet on something, if you want to bet on the NFL, Genius Sports has an exclusive contract with the NFL where they provide all the data to the sports books and they pay them. And they have an exclusive deal. I think they renewed it, but I believe it might go through 2027 or 2029. And there's really one other competitor in this space, and it's Sports Race Rad, who has been hitting 52-week highs pretty aggressively. And as you can see on the one-day chart, actually, that's also a substantial move there off the bottom. NVTS is what Miles is saying. NVTS Navitas. A 0.5% in the pre-market. That's the one-day chart. I mean, obviously, when you zoom in here, this is going to look nice on like the couple hours gap up there. Yeah, I see it. Kratos is another one that people have been a fan of that's been running. This is like a defense name, but look at this freaking move. What's like the 1 hour chart look like? I mean, yeah, this is a straight line up. So like a lot of these small mid-cap moves feels like they've already happened. We got, you want me to look at Rigetti? Is shaping up to run in the pre-market, and then ticker run, which is Sunrun. Let's look. RGTI, Rigetti. Let's switch this over to the 5-minute. I actually don't know if this has any pre-market data on it. That's what it kind of looks like to me. And the other one you said was Sunrun. Sunrun had a partnership with was it with NVIDIA or Tesla yesterday? Down about 0.2%. Had a spike up. I think that it really wasn't that major of news. All right, guys, I got to do something really quickly. Get a quick water break, then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Let's pull this up. Shout out to the 3,000 of you guys who have already tuned in through X. I'm excited to see how many of you guys have actually been hanging out the whole time. Shout out to you guys who are watching on YouTube. That is a lot. We are about to get to the 9 a.m. Eastern news dump here. Let's stop sharing that screen. And let's switch over to this one. Okay. This is Benzinga Pro. Looks like I actually need to refresh it. This is good for when like 9 a.m. Eastern comes around. You tend to see a lot of stuff instantly. 9 a.m. Eastern is a popular time for news to come out, by the way. Ooh. By the way, I really do want to say I appreciate all three of you, Miles, CJ, and Jay. The chat is the difference. The chat is what I'm here for. I just appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out with me, so it's just not me talking to myself. CJ, you've been here for the last couple of days, and I honestly, I don't know if you were in the YouTube crowd before when we were doing this in the past, but I definitely recognize your username that you've been an active person here. So I really appreciate you, man. GM. All right. 9 a.m. Eastern here. Let's see if we end up getting any interesting news coming out. Friday doesn't tend to be a popular time for it, but you never know. It's crazy when you're okay. There we go. I was gonna say it's crazy when you're staring at it. It doesn't switch over ever. It's like a watch pot never boils. We should be getting a couple stuff funneling in through here. There we go. What is this? Infinity Group. Essentially, of a Cessna Skyhawks. Okay, that's not gonna be anything. All right, yeah, not much on the way of that one. Quickly, I do like to look here if you're looking for any like price target changes. China Renaissance stagnates Tesla. I don't think that matters. Suspend political ads. We talked about that. Piper Sandler initiates coverage on Piper Sandler with an overweight rating. Interesting. I saw that yesterday. I want to dig a little bit more into that one. Piper Sandler initiating coverage on Palantir. Let's actually try this quickly. Let's do this. Let's do this. Window. Right here. Let's pull up the Twitters. PLTR. Piper. I saw this last night, I thought. Yeah. Piper Sandler initiates coverage overweight. Richly valued company offers one-of-a-kind growth and margin potential. The analyst tells investors in a research note the firm believes Palantir can grow into a $24 billion run rate by 2032 due to market share gains in the $1 trillion total addressable market. Winner in the artificial intelligence revolution. Target $24 billion revenue. Okay, interesting. Found me off a Reddit page. Interesting. Yeah, I see a couple of my stuff get put over to Reddit. I'm a fan of it. I appreciate you. It's like some people get annoyed about people like quote unquote taking their content, but then it's you, Miles, you come in here and tell me that's exactly how you found it. So how can you be mad at that? I appreciate you, and I appreciate the people who are sharing out my post as well. Let's get back here. I want to run through a couple more names that I am watching here. Let's see what this headline I'm just seeing was. Tesla's behind pay, blah, blah, blah. Production this year. I'm seeing an article from The Information just crossing. Let me get that out. The Information. This article is going around right now. Let's pull it back up. No, there we go. This article, get rid of that. Oop. It's this. Elon Musk says humanoid robots will be the future of the company as long way to Tesla's behind its pace necessary to meet Elon Musk's publicly stated goal of producing at least 5,000 Optimus humanoid robots this year. So that's what that headline just coming out the second was. Now I want to run through a couple of names that I am intrigued to see how they end up performing today. Boeing, it's one that I'm keeping an eye on. Up 0.6% in the pre-market. AMD is another one that I am keeping an eye on. Up 1.2%. What was NVIDIA up again? Down 0.3. Okay, that's an interesting move. AMD 164. Goddamn. Uber. Robinhood, where's that one at? I talked about the Palantir initiation. What's that doing in the pre-market? Up about 0.4%. Okay. Defense names. Down a little. Let me scroll through something else. Intel, we know. They just had earnings. What were some of the morning earnings this morning? We had HCA Healthcare, PSX, and Charter. And quickly, if we do this, you can see what they had. Double beat for HCA, double beat for PSX. Charter was a beat on revenue, miss on EPS. HCA, PSX. HCA down 2.5, PSX up 2.5, Charter down 11. Interesting. We want to take a quick look at what reports earnings next week. Maybe I can zoom out like that. So Monday, not aggressive a bunch, but Tuesdays when we really start to pick up into it. SoFi, PayPal, Spotify, United Healthcare, Procter & Gamble, Boeing, UPS, Merck. Like, look at this next Tuesday morning. A lot of names. And then you come to the afternoon, Starbucks, Visa, Marathon, Booking, Electronic Arts, Seagate, Teladoc, Cheesecake Factory. A lot of names are reporting next week. Get ready for it. VRT, the one that you were just talking about there. By the way Earnings Hub does this in order is the most popular. So you see that there, that's the 94th most popular stock, and that is based on the amount of people that set alerts. So Vertiv is actually pretty popular, more popular than Altria at 151 and then ADP at 215. In the afternoon, though, is when we have a lot of big dogs next Wednesday. Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, Qualcomm, ARM Holdings, Transmedics. I actually have a little position here. Well, decent-sized position here. Lam Research, Carvana, Ford. Look at this. Next week, get ready, and it continues on Thursday. MasterCard, AbbVie, Ferrari, Roblox, S&P Global. I'm excited for these ones, though. Look at this after hours next Thursday. Apple, Coinbase, Amazon, MicroStrategy, Reddit, Cloudflare, Roku, First Solar, Riot, Clack. And then we also have the energy and oil and gas. And I believe Berkshire Hathaway might be on Saturday after this, unless they're tomorrow. Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, they report earnings on a Saturday, and it's coming up very soon. I think it might be next. I think it might be the 2nd. We shall see there, but that's a lot of what you guys are looking for next week. Weem asked to look at Alibaba. What's Alibaba doing in the pre-market? What about these Chinese names in general? Alibaba down 1.2. KWeb opening up down 1.1. JD, I saw there was a story that they were looking to acquire a German e-commerce company. I'm interested to see if that gets through their regulatory concerns, but that's down about 0.8% in the pre-market trading there. One thing that I do also want to pull up, which I don't want to do there, is this. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. Shout out Miles. Miles saying moved over from X. What do you think will be the top movers today? Let me pull up what's been the top movers in the pre-market trading, and that's going to be a good place to start looking. Let me get that in front of me. But I really appreciate you going over. The X is great. I love it. Great real-time news. But truthfully, they're not great with live streams. They're not great with like telling you when live streams are happening. So yeah. YouTube. If you guys are hearing this, search my name on YouTube and you will end up finding it. Okay. Here are some of the biggest movers from the pre-market trading so far. I really appreciate you, Mike. Oh, damn, what happened here? We got Anthony coming in on the YouTube. We got Mikey B here in the morning. Good morning. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. I was just about to show you this, which is the biggest movers from the morning on Seeking Alpha. Okay. So here's what this has. Deckers up 11 after their earnings. Paramount Global up 3. And only has Intel here down 3. So really not that many big movers. There's a couple most active ones here in the pre-market. Is this from yesterday? Oop, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that might be from yesterday on the side there. And then what's also here in the news? This was earnings. I saw news here actually. What was this? Their earnings too, actually. I'd imagine if you're looking at some of the big movers in the morning, you want to look at earnings. I don't have a great answer on some of these small cap ones. Let's see what else do we got. Shout out Miles, Antonio, and let's see what's Corvo. I can't lie, I do not know enough about Corvo. Let's see what the stock is doing though. QRVO down 2% in the pre-market. Let's switch this over to the 1 day. Yeah, it's looking pretty strong this year. Year to date. Is this a recent IPO? No. Yeah, no. I want to try this. I don't know much about Corvo. I'm sorry. Let's do some male astrology and draw some lines on the chart. Let's get rid of this. We'll do it on a longer time frame. See what we see. This is a little too much. 1 year. I mean, what? So clearly, I think you see a level here. Support resistance a bunch of times. Feels like this is a little bit of a range. Like, it feels like it's actually. So what? You're playing for this is the support resistance you fell into last time, and you think this is the half gap, and we're going to fill our way up to this gap. Anthony, is this the play here? This is what I'm kind of seeing. I mean, I'm not a trader. I might be a little bit of a like, hey, let's reload back to this level right here and then push up to there. But I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. There's a gap here. How does this align with from previous levels? It pretty much does. There seems to actually be something closer to where we're at right now. Base here. So maybe even you're betting that this is this. I want to hold this resistance level and move it up. Is that still what we're kind of seeing here, Anthony? I guess I see it. Got some funds ready to place some calls. Miles, what are you looking at? GM, Emperador. Sweet. Lisa, sweet. I'm not good at it, but you got me to do it. I appreciate you. I kind of see Lucius, but Lassius. Pretty sure they got government contract. Interesting. Let's look. Let's pull this back up. I'm a fan of Seeking Alpha for like, not for instant breaking news, but if you need to like make sure like this type of question, just surface level about everything, like what happened. I really am a fan of it for that use case. Corvo. Suppliers, chipmaker Corvo intends to nominate Peter Feld. Yeah, we're back to May. I don't see anything about a government deal. Trump, what's this? Trump just said most trade deals will be done by August 1st. 50-50 chance of making deal with EU. Trump is doing some new squawks right now. It's weird. All of a sudden, we started to shoot up YouTube viewers. I appreciate you, M, for being over there. Just started trading. Been on NVTS January. Lucci calls and spy. What's Lucci? Is that? Don't tell me that's UNH. Is that what I actually just read there? NVTS. Let's do some mail astrology on this one. What? This is one day. I don't see that much on this one. Maybe we got to go a little bit in deeper. Let's try this. Yeah, I got nothing for you on this one, actually. I don't know what I'm quite seeing here. I mean, you look at that. I guess some work was done generally in like there. I guess you could say there is like a range you'd want to be able to hold in. And then I guess maybe if you can use these ones as support, move higher. What there. I haven't really gotten great with trend lines yet, but I mean, there kind of feels to be something there. So you can also argue there's something like that a little bit if you want to be more bullish. Let's do that one. I'm going to get off this. I don't even know. Sometimes I'm just doing this. Lucid just started. Oh, Lucid. Gotcha. Yeah, you want to play off those Robotaxi ones. I hear you. This has got to be ugly. Yeah, geez. Wow, look at that spike up candle. Oh, that's the volume. Wow, look at that volume that spike it had. I guess also because when it's $2 versus 40 over there, that can make all the difference. That's a gap. What isn't the saying like 80% of gaps fill or something? Interesting. All right. I think we're at a pretty good place on this one. How are you guys feeling? Anything else you guys are looking at? Anything else you guys are watching for today? There shouldn't be that many. We have this up. There really shouldn't be that many events today. What do we have? These are both in the morning and these Friday ones, so don't expect anything there. This is from Market Watch. Pretty solid. This is for next week for anyone curious. Nothing scheduled for Monday. Next week is the jobs week, so we get like jobs opening, ADP employment, initial jobless claims, and then one we all care about. This is NFP. So we get NFP next Friday. We get PCE next Thursday, along with initial jobless claims. We get FOMC, Jerome Powell press conference on Wednesday, along with a GDP release, Q2 GDP. That might be the first reading of Q2 GDP. We have a jam-packed macro week next week. Jam-packed. So get ready for that one. Like I was saying here, GDP, FOMC, PCE, initial jobless claims, NFP. There are 2 or 3 really kind of headlight ones. Or yeah. And then what was the other thing you're talking about? Chipotle. I thought Chipotle was going to do better off of its earnings. This move did surprise me a little bit. We can get into a little bit more of why. CMG. Rare negative comparable sales quarter. A 3% increase in total revenue was driven by new restaurant openings. Comparable sales fell 4%. That's one of the most important metrics for a restaurant. Definitely something you want to see. Wall Street was expecting down 2.9%. Chipotle, some rough numbers there. Digital sales represented 35.5% of total sales during the quarter. Interesting. Restaurant level margin down 150 basis points. Packaging costs were 28.9% versus, so some costs were down. That's not horrible. Looks like there might be a little macro point out right now. I saw a Luxalgo tweet. Durable goods fell the most. That doesn't sound great. Did SPY or QQQ move off of that? This is the 1-day candle. Let's get down to the 5-minute. Not a huge move. QQQ. Little move higher. Really appreciate you, Mikey. They missed earnings by a little bit by the dip. Which one was that again? Chipotle. I want to preface this. There's better investors than me out there. There's a reason I'm the news guy. And like, I'm not trying to say that to like be humble or something. Like, genuinely, I my slot here was to give people the information so that they can make their informed decisions, as opposed to just being, someone who presents themselves as an expert, because I'm still learning as much. With all of that being said, I would probably be willing to take the opportunity here. Where are these lines? Right here. I don't want a trend line. I would like a horizontal line. So I'd love to see kind of like that. That was kind of an area. Obviously, you'd like to see the top of this gap that we just had. And then you could draw a couple more wherever. Some of these higher lines, let's just get them off there. We're not getting there for a while. And then let's look on the downside a little bit, actually. I mean, maybe you could say something here. Maybe you could say something here, but how low are we going at that point? Let's zoom in. Yeah, at some point you are just catching a falling knife. And if you look at when I was in business school, when one of the things they will teach you, who knows if it's right or not, is that following earnings, there's going to be kind of a move in that direction. So if you're down really big, 10%, the next 2 weeks, what I learned was, hey, you're going to kind of like slowly move that way. You might be down another 2-3%. It's kind of what the average is put in your favor. So it might be something where you might seem to like slowly fade down to 43, 45. You can go sideways in this level. 1 second. I need to let my dog in the room. I don't know if you guys hear her. I was getting scratches at the door. To me, if this is a thing that goes sideways, I'd like it. Here you go. I've never bought something on here. I don't think I should have done that, actually. Okay. I'd be willing to take the opportunity on Chipotle here. I'm done. SoFi outlook for next week from Anthony as well. Yeah, so SoFi does report earnings, I believe, like I said here, on Tuesday before the markets open. SoFi has beaten revenue estimates 16 out of the last 16 times. They've beaten EPS estimates 11 out of the last 14 times. Tend to come in with pretty strong numbers. It is up 40% so far this year, up 195% over the last year or so. But when you pull out on the 5-year, it is still down 5%. And when you look at competitor-ish like Robinhood, has actually been outperforming it. SoFi, the people who I'm not an expert in the space. The people who I talk to who are experts, who present themselves to be experts, seem to think the numbers are going to come in based above expectations based on their kind of like some of the parts analysis, that type of thing. The stock has run a little bit. I'd much rather be having this coming into earnings not above 20. Where are we? 21.50. Let's pull this out to the 1 day. Yeah, like If we were reporting earnings here, oh, that'd be beautiful. But we're reporting at 13. Now we're here at 22. I don't know. I think this is a more of, is the market going to continue than is SoFi going to? I don't think it's going to dump, but what's stopping it from digesting sideways a little bit? You never know. I think this says more about me than whatever. I struggle to buy the chart that looks like this, and it doesn't mean a lot. Like sometimes this is just momentum or whatever, but sometimes when it's the right company and you get parabolic moves, it can continue. So I don't know. I don't know enough about SoFi to give you a good answer there. Is this new all-time highs for NVIDIA? Nah, but like $1 off of it. That might hit that today. All right. I think that is good on this one. One more time, I want to give a shout out. All of a sudden, this YouTube chat started to pick up, and I really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. Streamer, we're doing it more. So there wasn't that much news this morning or anything like that, but I just wanted to keep the habit. I hope you guys are getting in the habit of getting ready for the stock market with me. I'm gonna try and get smart people on here in the morning. Like I said, I'm here to bring information. Everyone wants to act like they're the really, really smart person. They have all the answers. I want to come in here and give people knowledge. I want to learn. I appreciate all of you guys. So I'm going to get some experts in here and to really make this great going forward. But keep this habit up with me. I'm going to keep this habit up for you guys. If there's anything I could do to deliver more value, whether it's some paid wall thing service that you guys really think would be great, maybe I can put some work in so that we can start to look at some of that data in the morning. Anything that I could do to help deliver more value to you guys, I'm here to do it, and I'm here to put the work in on the back end. So let me know. I appreciate you, Nick Bro. Thank you, Mikey B, Miles, both on X, and then over to the YouTube. Anthony, let's go through all of you guys. We had Emp in here. St. Andy looks good. Lascious, sorry for saying your name wrong. Weem, CJ. I also say CJ, first person in here. I don't know if they're still in here. I appreciate you, CJ. We also Jay, and then Miles also on X as well. I really appreciate all of you guys. Listen, honestly, I'd be down. Mike, you come in, if we could maybe one of these times next week we do a little bit of a thing. I'd love to have you guys join in. So yeah, I'm actually open for that. I appreciate you all. If you guys are on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. They do a really great job of showing live streams to people that are subscribed. So if you want to see this in the morning, Lacius. Got it. Thank you. Lacius, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go hang out on the spaces for the day with a live trader. So if you're a trader and want to hang out, come follow me. Have a great one, team. I need to cut these outros a little bit. I have been rambling a lot.